How's it going, everybody? Lampini here again today. And today we are going to be doing part 2 of my 2026 BattleBots review. If you haven't watched the previous video that I made about a month or two ago, please make sure you check it out so you can get a couple updates on some of the other robots I've made. But with this one, I'm going to be going over a robot that I made relatively recently. It's a robot I made completely from scratch. I haven't done that in about 2 years, so I wanted to share with you guys the journey in building it and how it all turned out. So how'd this come about? My fiance, Miss Leah. You haven't seen her in any of my videos yet. She's going to be in the next one when we, spoiler, battle my robots together. But she's wanted me to make her a robot for as long as I showed her that I make these things. So I finally took the time to make one for her. And basically, we were trying to brainstorm. Like, you know, this is catnip for me, right? This is like the best thing that could ever happen. My fiance wants me to build her a BattleBot, the greatest thing to ever happen to me in my entire life. So I sat her down and I was like, all right, what design do you want from your robot? You can have a spinning blade, you can have a flipper, you can have a hammer. I gave her a bunch of different ideas of what she can do, what the design, what weapons. We eventually came up with this design, which is a FingerTech kit add-on. I think it's called the tail attachment, where there's a little plastic bar attachment, and then you put a blade at the bottom and you can spin it around and work it like a tail, basically. I wasn't just going to make a FingerTech kit for her. I wanted to make something completely from the ground up, but I wanted to use that as kind of inspiration. I was going to mimic that design. So I was very excited for it. It's kind of not a complex chassis design, but it's not completely square or just one shape. The wheels are recessed in a little bit, so that was going to test my building abilities a little bit, but I had a lot of spare parts. I had a lot of spare materials like armor and nut strips, so I was going to see how much I could actually make from scratch, and then from the rest of that, I built it completely from the ground up. So a couple of the pieces that I was able to reuse is the 22 millimeter planetary gear motors that I used for my previous Beetleweight Velocity. I was able to reuse it for this robot, which was pretty nice, as well as the speed controllers. I was able to reuse a receiver that I had lying around, and I was able to reuse the batteries that I use in all my other robots because, you know, they all use the exact same batteries. When it came to making the chassis, I decided to not limit myself based on weight because I probably wouldn't compete with this robot, and I was just kind of making it for fun for Leah. I decided to make it as compact and as strong as possible. So the back end is completely covered in nut strips, so it's incredibly sturdy. I used these really cool right angle brackets that I had lying around to kind of make the chassis design possible. And then, of course, at the front, I was able to screw in the plastic blade mount, and then I was able to put the motor and the blade attachment on top of it. So it took around 2 weeks to make, on and off. But as you can see, here it is. You can see it kind of has the same dimensions as the FingerTech design, and you can see it has the attachment there with the blade on top. The big thing that I did to make sure that the blade wouldn't, because I ran into this problem where when I would back up, the blade would bend back and hit the ground. The way I combated that was added this little wedge at the front, so that way when it rears back, it hits this and it doesn't hit the end there. But as you can see, it's a pretty compact robot. It has the speed controllers, it has the brackets, it has the same BaneBots wheels that I use with everything else. With the planetary motors, the control is very silky smooth. I really like driving with these. So that's kind of how that came about. It was great that I was able to reuse them. And I think the overall weight ended up being 2.6 pounds, 2 pounds, 6 ounces, so around 2.5 pounds, which is a pretty good weight for a Beetleweight. So there's that. Without further ado, let's take him for a test drive. All right, here we go, guys. We're going to do a test run of the unnamed robot, and I'm going to be giving to Miss Leah. So there he is down there. You can hear the beeping. So as you can see, the robot drives around very, very well. Very, very smoothly. But the ground is a little uneven here, though, so that's the only thing kind of working against it. But you can see how fast it spins there. And then if the blade goes, very balanced. Woo! I think that came off. Holy cow. stuff. Whoa! I'm gonna tail whip them. Ready? Comes the whip. Oh! Nice. Okay. Let's look at that. So you can see kind of how I was telling you about the acceleration thing. But I need a better test box as well because you can see it kind of gets caught up. Look at that. That's not the robot being unbalanced. That's literally just where it is being held up. But anyway, that's that. So here he is driving around a smoother surface so you can see he actually drives around. But like I was saying, he moves very, very smoothly along the wheels, and he's a joy to drive around. It's not like Fatal Deviation where he has like really torquey wheels that he gets at top speed, or that he's like Deathstalker or Nicotine Lips or Night Stalker with the brushless motors, but it still moves at a very, very good speed for a Beetleweight. And that's the blade going too. So that about wraps things up with this robot. We don't have a name for him yet. Leah hasn't decided on a name for him yet, but that pretty much wraps it up. He's one of the more complex robots I've made from a chassis perspective here, but you can see it's got a lot of guts in it. It's very compact, and having this little bit here is pretty cool. So it really tested my building abilities, so I was very happy with it. So tune in next time because I have some more BattleBots videos coming up with you guys, so stay tuned.